that we were talking about earlier, and you make your payments to them. But you can do a refinance. The key part is you have to be able to prove that you've been making your payments for the past year, and those payments, you have to be making them by check. So if you're making those by check and you can document it and your credit is good enough, you can do a refinance, and then we can put the closing costs into the loan. So it's really shouldn't be any money out of pocket as long as you have enough equity. So that's an excellent question. Thanks for texting that into 77031. If you want to get more into that, you want to get a quote on what it would actually look like, go to homeloansradio.com, hit the apply now button, and we'll put together a quote. You can do a 20-year or a 25, or you can take it out to a 30-year if you wanted to have your mortgage payments a little lower. Great question. You know what time it is, MJ?
I think I do.
It's time for the speed round.
All right.
That's where MJ's going to ask me a bunch of questions that we hadn't gotten to yet on the show. I try to get to them all, but if I didn't get to yours, do please go to homeloansradio.com, hit the apply now button, copy paste it in there, and I will get you an answer in your email.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Why is it so hard to finance a double wide?
Well, it's hard because there are very few lenders that do them, and it has to be done in a very specific way, because before a mobile home is attached to the land, it's literally a vehicle. It has a vehicle license and a vehicle tag. It's not real estate. So it has to be attached to the land in just the right way to be eligible for refinancing. They also, mobile homes often depreciate as they get older, and instead, houses appreciate and mobile homes typically depreciate. So as they get older and older, you're going to have a harder and harder time financing them.
I had a foreclosure in 2016. Can I buy another house and be considered a first-time home buyer?
Yeah, you can. The foreclosure, like the wait for a conventional loan, is 4 years on a conventional loan. So you're past that. It's shorter on a FHA. It can be 2 or 3 years depending on the type. They said a foreclosure?
Yes.
Oh, a foreclosure. No, actually on a conventional loan, on a foreclosure, you have to wait 7 years. But on an FHA, you can do it after 3 years or 4 years, depending on the type of foreclosure. But after 3 years of not owning anything, you're considered a first-time home buyer again.
Are there other options other than a 30 and a 15-year loan?
Yeah, you can do a 10, a 15, a 20, a 25, or a 30. Huh. So obviously, the shorter the term, the lower the rate. Also, 10-year and 15 years are the rates on those, if you're well qualified, are down in the low 2s right now. So that's an advantage there. But your payment will be higher. On the lower the term, obviously, the higher the payment.
What does lender paid PMI mean, and is it a good idea?
PMI, as we've talked about, is a private mortgage insurance that you pay whenever you put down less than 20%. Lender paid PMI is a way where you don't actually have a monthly payment. What they do is, it's kind of like the companies when they say they're going to pay your closing costs, they add to the interest rate and then use that money to pay your closing costs because they get a rebate from Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac when they charge a higher rate. Same thing with PMI. Basically, they'll just factor the PMI payment into the rate. So you're going to end up paying the same amount of money per month. It usually comes out pretty much the same. Or they can give you a higher rate and get a big lump sum of cash and do what's called a one-time purchase of the PMI, where instead of paying it monthly, you just do a big purchase. You don't see a lot of people doing the lender paid PMI lately, because most people would rather have the lowest rate they can get. So I rarely would recommend lender paid PMI. That would mean you'd have a higher rate for the whole 20 or 30 years you're doing the loan, as opposed to a PMI payment that can drop off in 2 years or 4 years down the road. So usually I don't think the lender paid PMI is worthwhile.
Is it better to lock or float a rate?
Always better, in my opinion, to lock a rate. A lot of companies will tell you, though, that it's better to float a rate. And the reason is probably based on their lock policies, meaning that, so if I lock your rate in and all of a sudden while we're working on the loan during that 30-day lock, the rates go down, we can go and renegotiate that rate or do what's called a float down. So we can get you a lower rate. A lot of lenders won't do that. So they don't want to get stuck in a place where the rates go down. So they may not lock it, or let's say they tell you 3.5 and 3.5 rate, all of a sudden they get it down to 3.3. They might be able to make more money by keeping you at 3.5 and letting it float. So I would always say lock it in, though. If you don't and rates go up, you're going to be out of luck. They're going to come back to you and tell you, oh, well, we told you 3.5, but now it's 3.75, So yeah, in any chance when you have an option of locking or not locking, I recommend locking.
You're trapped in a room. The room has only 2 possible exits, 2
Riddle
doors. The first door, there's a room constructed of magnifying glasses.
Okay.
The blazing hot sun instantly fries anything that enters that room. Through the second door, there's a fire-breathing dragon. How do you escape?
Is this a riddle?
Mm-hmm. That or a really weird real estate question.
Okay.
I guess it is about a house.
One more time.
You're trapped in a room.
Mhm.
The reason the room has only 2 possible exits, 2 doors. Through
Mhm.
one, the first door, there is a room constructed entirely of magnifying glasses. The blazing hot sun instantly fries anything or anyone that enters. Through the second door, there is a fire-breathing dragon. How do you escape?
I go through the door with the dragon.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Dragons aren't real.
Magnifying glasses aren't either, man. Science ain't real, man.
No, I would actually go. I would wait till it was dark and go out through the magnifying glass door.
Fritz?
I also would do that.
Yes, that is the answer. Wait until nighttime. Let the dragon be, and then go through the now harmless magnifying glasses.
All right, excellent. Well, folks, you've done it. You've successfully whiled away another 90 minutes
Congratulations.
of your weekend morning listening to us right here at Home Loans Radio. We're out of here. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
You've been listening to Home Loans Radio with that mortgage guy, Don. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. on Real Radio 104.1 and check us out online at homeloansradio.com.